Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our show brought to you by Benedict Construction. Dan Benedict and his team get my personal stamp of approval. 2 years ago, I approached them with a cocktail napkin and an idea. They took that idea, improved upon it massively, and built this beautiful set that we are on. Plus, and here's the big part, not only did they build this big set, they came in on time and on budget. Folks, they do custom work like you wouldn't believe. They had never done a television studio, and you have no idea how much plays into that with lighting, with angles, camera shots. They hadn't done it, and they nailed it. Benedict Construction, I can't say enough good things about them. Give them a call if you're looking to do any kind of custom build or custom remodel in your home. Let's go right now over to Chuck Cavaleris and the Benedict Construction Big Board. You see bcknoxville.com is the website to find them. All right, I've got up there 5 fill-in-the-blank questions. Some are about spring, some are about the season in general. I'm going to throw out the question. You guys can give me an answer, and then Chuck, the king of the board, the chairman of the board, he will either take one of your answers or write in his own answers and tell you you're all fools. So here we go. Question number 1. We should expect Josh Dobbs' improvement this spring to be blank.
Wow.
Limited.
Limited.
I think he can get a little better, but I don't think you're going to see great improvement in the spring from Josh Dobbs.
I was going to go with marginal, which is limited.
Yeah. Marginal, limited, what do you think?
Guaranteed they will say great things about him, and we won't get to see practice, so we won't know any different.
So it'll sound great. Is the way. All right. We got marginal, we got limited, we got basically sound great. What do you
My
think?
word was modest. I think you will see some, but I think the key for Tennessee is more improvement around him. I think we pretty much know what you got with Josh Dobbs, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, people want to see him make vast improvements in terms of accuracy. You don't typically see a guy go from his junior to his senior year and bump his completion percentage by 5%. So I think modest, marginal, limited, all good. All right, next question. That's very good. You guys are all riders. The most important area for Tennessee to concentrate on in the spring will be blank.
I'm going to go defense.
Okay.
I think you've kind of got your offense in place, so I think just concentrate on your defense. That's what's going to be determine whether you're the East champions or disappointing.
Defense.
I could go with Bob just to be different. I'm going to say passing game.
All right. Defense, passing game.
Just to be different from Mike, I'm going to go throw game.
Throw game. And I would say work on the mental and conditioning stuff so you're ready in fourth quarters. So I would be looking at fourth quarters. Chuck goes with?
I had down the passing game, throw game, because I thought you go back and look at some of those losses last year, Tennessee has got to find a way to throw the ball better. You know, with your running backs and I hope with the offensive line, you could run it. I think the passing game is what Tennessee has to improve to get over that hump.
Stop saying passing game. It's the throw game. We all know that. All right, here we go. Number 3, Tennessee's blanks, that would be a position group. Tennessee's blanks will be the standouts of spring practice.
I'm going to go with defensive line.
Yes.
All right, defensive line will be the standouts. Jimmy, Mike?
Defensive backs.
Defensive backs.
Say linebackers.
I'm going to go defensive backs as well.
2 DBs, 1 defensive line. Chuck, where are you going?
Problem against defensive line is they've got 5 guys out this spring. 5 defensive
And the other
linemen.
thing is, I don't think there will be as much contact for the defensive linemen to stand out. I think spring will be more conducive.
Right.
It'll be
I
an
think-
Ivy League spring.
I think when you get into August, it will be the defensive tackles. But I think for spring ball, I think it will be the defensive backs.
I would go offensive line because I think you've got another year together, and I think also with those 2 running backs, your offensive line, clearly that is DeBoer's bread and butter. I think they'll come out with a good running game, and you'll be hearing good tales of the offensive line. Whether or not that's true or not is another matter, but I think you'll hear great stories about the offensive line. Number 4, we should expect Bob Shoop's defense to blank.
More aggressive.
Be aggressive. That's
All right.
the word I was going with.
Be more aggressive. Bob
Yeah,
Lodge.
be aggressive, more aggressive. Yeah, more aggressive.
Okay.
I think that's a good answer. And also show improvement on 4th down.
You expect me to show improvement on 4th down, right?
You can't get worse.
I was going to say expect Bob Shoop's defense to get too much hype this spring. Because typically when you bring in a new coordinator, everybody goes gaga over it. You don't know until fall. So I think it'll be overhyped this spring. That's just standard. All right, next one. This one's for the football season, for the fall. Off-field controversies will have blank impact on the season. Blank impact on the season.
And that's for this fall?
Yep. The season.
I'm going to say minimal.
Minimal impact on the season.
I was going to go with a word that's already up there, modest,
Modest, okay?
which is minimal.
Modest impact, minimal impact.
Apocalyptic.
We're going to give you a big choice there.
No, I'm going to go
Catastrophic?
modest if.
I really liked apocalyptic.
Just
Where are
wanted-
you going with
just
Chuck?
wanted to
I'm
throw
going to
it out.
stay with the modest theme. I don't see how you can avoid that because it's going to be asked about. There's going to be some, but I think the getting on the field in the games is going to be a pleasant relief from all the other things.
I think it'll be modest on the field, but in terms of what the fans experience and have to listen to every
A horror
week,
show.
it'll
Go
be
back to apocalyptic.
it'll be apocalyptic because you're going to hear it every single week.
Yeah.
That's going to be frustrating for the
Just
fan
go back
base.
to Bruce Pearl's last season, and that's your playbook.
You had that timeline, and people would say, "Why is that up there every week?" So the other fans can see it.
I
You
know
see it every week.
I don't know the answer to this. Did that happen with Florida State and Jameis Winston? Was that like every week? Did they bring that
I didn't
up?
watch every Florida State game, but I'm pretty sure it must have.
How could it not have?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, this is multiplied by much more because
8
you
or
got more
more.
people.
We'll
But
go back
you don't
to
have a Heisman Trophy
different
guy.
situation.
Yeah.
You go back to the Cam Newton when he was at Auburn. After the allegations came out, it became a part of every Auburn broadcast about Cam Newton. So I think it'll be there.
Well,
And
and
it
certainly
had
when
no
you,
impact on him.
and certainly, and certainly when the Cecil Newton, when all that stuff came out, I mean, it just blew up. So yeah, I think it will be frustratingly over the top for fans this season. All right, when we come back, the Tennessee defense strategy, not Bob Shoop, but against that lawsuit. We'll talk Title IX or criminal, how they're going to go about this. We'll discuss this, and then very quickly after that, we're going to get back into a game of Can You Believe It, which includes some talk of Peyton Manning and Jim Harbaugh. Two different moods. Come on back.